Yeah, that's perfect. I'll just leave it at that.
All right.
We recording?
Perfect. All right.
Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
We're ripping it. We're going right now. Episode 146.
Welcome.
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 Okay. Welcome to Pointless Ponderings, episode 146.
Yeah.
Today's topic of questions that no one ever needs an answer to: fish. Do they think they're wet? Like, do they know?
Is
I
water
have a
wet?
feeling that they know.
We already talked about
I
that.
know.
Do you think like gliding fish got to know? You know what I mean? But like if a stork picks a fish up and it goes out of the water, is it like this is just like very light water?
Okay, well, first, is there any fish that frequently jump out of the water?
Yeah, gliding fish
Gliding
and mudfish.
Mudfish.
Yeah,
Okay. So they have to know the difference, right?
I feel like whales definitely know the difference.
But do they think
the
that's
brains
like
are bigger.
space?
They're mammals.
Probably depends on the.
They have a
the
concept.
fish.
Yeah, they have a concept of space. They have a concept of cover, and they go to the surface. Yeah, I figure they know they're in something, and if they go out of that something, they're probably not going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I don't think they necessarily would think like I am wet, but I need to.
I need to be in this spot,
I'm not
in
in
this
this
environment.
fluid
Yeah, they have a
environment.
concept of their environment. So
I'm done.
I'm going to say yes. Okay, that was episode 146 of Pointless Ponderings. Join us next time, and back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Are we actually stopping it? I'm confused what we're doing.
No, we're going to start speaking sporadically. now.
Yeah, now
that's
we're
just
speaking
something I'm doing on the
sporadically.
side. That's my own
Alan's just
gig.
a little side guy. He's actually just gonna clip that and post it on his main
Yeah, that's just
channel.
mine.
Gotcha.
Sorry,
I'll
guys.
say you want to plug your channel then?
Pointless Ponderings?
Yeah. Is that on YouTube?
No, that's just up in the old. that's just something for me to watch later.
Come
Find it on
visit
the
me
web.
at beep, beep, beep.
It's a private account.
It's a private account.
That's for the fans down in the chat. I think people are in the chat. Anyhow,
Too.
we have it live again, but we're going to do a lot better about that for
Yeah.
YouTube. We're just going to, you guys, we're focusing on you.
Yeah.
Everyone on live, if you want to see it, you can go here. That's it.
Go to YouTube and you can watch it. We're really just doing this just for testing and get like
True. We just
numbers
want to look at
and-
the analytics and figure out what's going on, if it's going to be worthwhile.
right.
Okay.
Test the waters before we jump in.
Right.
basically.
Yeah. And if it works out, we're probably just going to do live and just not address it. That's about it. Yeah. We'll go through and answer comments. I guess later I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to
So-
talk about?
Well, I also want to say I have a cool topic that I need to do more research on that I have planned for next episode. I'll give you guys just a quick glimpse of what it is. It is going to be going through the capturing of Regigigas in Generation 3 Pokemon games.
All right.
Mind-boggling.
Okay.
Mind-boggling.
All right.
What you had to go through to capture this Pokemon.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a better
say
like a
Gen
good,
3?
Yeah, Gen 3. I'm gonna do a good synopsis of what you had to do things in Gen 3 to catch it in Gen 4. It was generational. You had to get it set up to be able to do
That's
it.
crazy.
You had to be able to read Braille. So, but more. We'll get more on it next week.
That is actually nuts.
That
It is crazy.
Speaking of like languages in video games, I know Braille's a real language, but like, am I wrong? Did somebody like decode a Minecraft enchantment language? Is that a thing? I feel like somebody did that, and I like cross-referenced it, and it made sense.
Really?
Let's see.
I
Yeah,
think
that
so.
might
I
be
think
some good
somebody
thing.
like made a codex,
Gotta be.
which, by the way, if you wanted to know, a conversion of two different languages is called a codex. Like the Rosetta Stone is a codex. That's kind of cool information. Also, how people figure out languages is beyond me.
Yeah, there's translators for
Like
it.
should definitely touch
Marco
on-
Polo, when he like went to East Asia from Europe, from Italy. How do you start? You start with like a single word. By the way, I just watched it's not Annihilation. It's
Arrival.
I just watched Arrival.
I just watched Arrival
it's-
last week too,
and it's
bro.
the concept that I'm talking about is very prevalent in it. It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. The screenwriter's awesome. I listened to a podcast of a script of like a scary story. They're it's like a creepypasta, which I want to talk about that for the Halloween episode. Just the concept of the rise of creepypastas online. So we'll get to that later on this year.
I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
Oh, perfect. Don't look
Yeah, I
into
don't
it.
think I do. Yeah.
I'll talk all about that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he's a great screenwriter, and they sold what's called the Diania House ages ago. Like he made it in like 2004, I think, 2005. But he's got this movie, which is fantastic. Arrival is great.
Was that the first time you'd seen it? Because it was the first time I had
First
seen
time
it.
I'd seen Arrival.
And I was
Yeah.
this
And it was
is,
cool
like,
because
one of the better movies I've seen recently that I have never seen before.
Yeah, and
It was shocking.
literally the night before you texted me that you just, like, out of the blue, like, you just watched it, it was awesome. The night before that was when I listened to his first ever script, which was almost adapted to a screenplay. So he's a screenwriter now, but originally he was just an author.
Yeah, but I'll give you like quick intro to Arrival without any like spoilers.
Yeah.
So aliens come to the planet Earth and they are very peaceful and they're making means for the humans to pretty much enter onto their ship. But obviously there's a language barrier, but not even like a language barrier that we encounter on Earth because the aliens can't even speak.
It's a language barrier you would have with. I've actually talked about this. It's a language
bird chirping.
It's a language barrier you would have with something like whales, like
Yes,
pods of whales that I talked about quite a few episodes ago,
where you talked about how they had started having breakthroughs.
It's not
understanding their communication.
Yeah, what defines language? Where they're making sounds, you can pretty well figure they're communicating with each other. Like chickens have like an alarm, like they have a very specific sound. But the pod formation also communicates to other pods or other members of the same pod about where they should be, what's actually going on, like a defensive situation. Like they communicate with sound and they communicate with form. So in these, I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say the aliens communicate. They have these sounds, but they communicate with symbols they produce with parts of their body. So that's a huge thing. Like that is a whole new level of language barrier. But it's different than anything on Earth because they're sentient. They have a spaceship. So, but they start with.
They bring in this professional linguist.
Yes.
That starts deciphering, and it's kind of cool her process that she starts going through of what's actually important.
What is important? Yeah, because it's crazy because they have I want to say a general there who has to report to like world leaders every so many hours, and she comes to him with like a whiteboard and a marker, and that's all she's got. And he's like, "What are you doing with that?" She's like, "Well, they have to know what I am or like who I am. They have to know that we differentiate between each other. So like the first word is just like human, and then the next time they go up to the spaceship, the next word is their name, right? And so then like that's a horribly complex a thought already. Like,
and then I couldn't even describe it because I couldn't do it justice. But one of the best scenes was the general pretty much asked like, "What's the next step after this?" And she laid out a sentence. She said, "This is my goal. I want them to be able to understand this sentence." Yeah. And she broke down the entire structure of the sentence, and it was like 7 critical aspects of language.
Things you have never ever thought about. Yeah. Like, oh, well, you have to know what a preposition is. Like, there's a question mark at the end of that sentence. We're asking you we're asking you a question. So they have to know the questions. They have to know we want something out of this statement from them. But obviously, every single word they have to understand. They have to understand like time, like placement, like here and now.
Then she said they have to know enough to be able to even answer.
Exactly. They need a whole lexicon to provide a suitable answer to them in their own way. Like they can't just like, hey, So it's a wild concept. How did we talk about this? I think we just started talking about Annihilation or Arrival.
We were talking about
Minecraft symbols.
It is a real language.
So somebody like decoded it.
Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So is it really
Galactic
simple?
alphabet.
We're like,
they're
it's
literally
pretty simple.
They're
Then,
literally
yeah.
letters. Yeah.
That's cool.
That is neat. That's cool.
was.
I love the attention to detail people are putting in games these days. It's super nice.
Yeah.
Even Easter eggs back in the like 80s and 90s were really cool, like arcade Easter eggs, where like you just like break this 8-bit box and you go into a whole new room and stuff. And I'm just like,
I feel like they're getting either where they have nothing, no glitches, no Easter eggs, or they have like a lot and they're really, really good.
By glitches, you mean like intentional game design?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like some of them are just like very streamlined and like this is what the game is intended for, and if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Or it's like if you want to be a perfectionist, like all the achievements and stuff. If they have more than 100 achievements, there's stuff you can find that's like kind of cool. But I also feel like I'm of the opinion that unless it's for a job, it does like take away valuable time. So it's a give and take. Like if you're a perfectionist in a video game but you have like a full-time job, I feel like there's other things you could be doing. But if that's how you get your enjoyment out of it,
say enjoyment-wise,
I just like people like addiction to video games is a very real thing. It's as real as social media. So I'm of that opinion. It also depends on person to person.
I also don't get, like, back in the day when there wasn't, like, guides or anything to go through for, like, Easter eggs or even, like, the Pokemon
Don't
games.
worry. I'm gonna get
Dude, it's
so
insane.
far into that next
Brother.
next session, bro.
You want to talk about the first person to play Terraria? Oh my gosh! Before the wiki, because I bought Terraria I don't know how many years ago just to play it. It's so complicated. That's just me. I was weak. I gave up like within like a week. I played it. I had fun, and then I'm like, all right, what's the next step? And it's like 18 things you have to do. One of them is like just straight up 6 hours of like mining. I'm like, no, Minecraft is way better than this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. But I just downloaded another game on my phone, as I'm talking about addictions to games. But I just downloaded a game on my phone, and it's a dungeon crawler, which I love, and it's mobile, so it's awesome. I can play without Wi-Fi or anything. It's great. But the wiki on it is so minute. Like, it's a brand new game, so there's no information. But it's a dungeon crawl, so there's a lot of detail. Like, you have your character, you have your, like a team of 6. It's like Final Fantasy, if anyone understands that. So you have your team of 6, you apply, like, 8 pieces of equipment to them, like, anything from a helmet to a ring, and then they all have like magic power, MP, skill based stuff, and like you get into a fight, you use a skill, you reduce the max amount of skills you have, like you have a cap that you can use before you have to go back and like reset, like rest and reset everything. And there's the whole thing is like labyrinth based. It is so complicated, and I already messed it up.
Well, you know what used to be an actual like full-time paid position in the 90s? Game call support.
Oh yeah,
positions.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nintendo would
100%.
hire people if
Yeah.
you got stuck on a level. You could call a number, and they would pretty much
They'd
give you
walk you
hints
through it,
or
yeah.
walk you through the level and how to
Yeah,
get
that
past what you're
makes
stuck
sense.
Yeah.
Because I was playing Oblivion last week, and I got to some point of something. I had to look it up, and it was like 20 steps I had to do for this
It's
mission.
insane, yeah.
I'm like, if I couldn't look this up, how the hell am I supposed to figure this out without
And when did
spending
that game come out originally?
20? I actually have no clue.
Before 2011, Oblivion was 4, so I think it was. No, I don't want to be wrong. I think it was 2006.
It's probably around that time. That's
It
what
was.
I'd
It's
guess.
definitely around that time.
You're exactly right. 2006.
Bang! Let's go, dude.
And the internet was, around, but not.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know how much time
They had
people
webs, they had wikis.
You would've had to
but
go on, like,
I feel
a
like less so
forum
for
page.
video games. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
or
forums.
4chan.
Yeah, something like that would help.
Like
But,
nowadays, everyone has a website, so there's a website for
Oh, yeah,
everything. But
everything.
back then,
There's-
it wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because by the same token, like I was thinking Skyrim, like think of the people who actually had to experiment and actually write down all the potion and ingredient combinations. Because I mean, it's.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie.
endless.
When I first got Skyrim, I was stupid.
Oh,
I
was too.
literally
I did
brute
not do-
forced it, and then I wrote it down. I still have my old like pen and paper like
Nice.
potion key.
Yeah.
It was cool, but I wasted so many hours just going around picking. I'm like, oh, what does that do? A thistle?
Yeah.
Oh, poison.
Because you really have to like, get all the ingredients, which you have no clue how many there are, because
Yeah.
there's so many. So you collect them, write them
Yeah.
all down. Then you write down like all of their effects and their abilities,
Yeah.
and then you have to write down what it combines with, what else.
Yeah.
And like use some
Like,
type
'cause
of
it's like
system
Steps like you have to eat some like 20 times to get to like, oh, these are all 4 of the things.
Yeah.
Where if you combine it with these 2 that also have this trait, you'll get this. But if you combine it with these 2 with this trait, you'll get this.
Yes.
I will say the one benefit to me writing it down was that I memorized a lot of potions or a lot of ingredient
Effects and
attributes,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah,
effects.
Or even like the Harry Potter game that came out a year or 2 ago.
I think it was older than that already.
I think it's been like 3,
It,
4.
it was my freshman year, so 2 years ago.
Oh really?
Oh, okay. There you go. Harry Potter Legacy,
Yes.
You played it, didn't you?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I actually never completed it.
Collecting those pages or whatever, there's like 120 in the most random
There is
spots
a
on the
lot.
map.
There is a lot.
I'm like, if you were not able to look that up, like you're just running around the map for
Grind.
10 hours.
Oh,
at
it's
that point.
insane. It is really fun though. They made it very fun to run around the map.
They did.
They made it so fun. That broom is nice. Or what is it? You got the hippogriffs too.
Yeah, you can
tame
ride.
and stuff. Yeah, they made it really cool. But the tutorial itself, if you consider like every time you get stopped and you have to do this quest to like learn something new that's like going to be important later, the tutorial is like 20 real life hours long. It's insane. Now you have main quest stuff mixed in, but like just to unlock stuff, which a lot of games have that. But like I remember specifically when I first played it, I'm like, oh my gosh, can I just like have the resources and just figure it out on my own at this point? Because you
Yeah.
have to stop, you have to do it, otherwise so many other things are locked away behind walls.
I'm very excited to once. My plan right now is to get the new PlayStation console when it comes out because I haven't been into video games and like current video games in a while.
Yeah.
Long time actually. Never, honestly, my whole entire life never really have been into current video games.
Yeah, I was always with handheld stuff, and then the Wii was big because I got old handheld games for it. Like I played Legend of Zelda. That was my first introduction. Legend of Zelda's Wii, so I was huge onto that. But Wii, for the longest time, that was the only console I ever considered playing.
Yeah. But I've really never gotten big into like playing online games. Unless they're mobile.
Yeah, I enjoy them.
That's true.
The only one I've actually enjoyed the longest is Overwatch, which is free. I do regret buying Call of Duty.
So do I.
Which one?
We didn't play it enough.
Modern Warfare.
The newest one.
Yeah, it's just I don't play it enough. It was like $80.
Yeah.
And
Games are
honestly,
becoming expensive.
honestly, I don't even like the gameplay that much. I don't enjoy it.
Did you guys see
I tell you what, the voice chats are still very hilarious.
Yeah.
The voice chats are
The voice
very
chats are so funny.
Do they have like a zombies mode on the?
Yeah.
Is that
Zombies
every
are
Call of
fun.
Duty have zombies?
No.
That they come
Not
out with? Oh,
every
really?
one of them, no.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw the over/under that people are guessing that the new GTA game is going to be priced at. It's
like
121. Yeah,
It's
$21.
That's
I don't
ridiculous.
know.
The thing
That
is, I
is
still
crazy.
might.
I was gonna say the problem is the problem is FOMO.
Yeah, that's
FOMO
true.
is a dangerous thing.
It's
is.
so bad.
Did
I
you
don't.
see the
I
new
think I'm
price?
gonna hold off
Did
on
you
this
see
one
the new
second.
price for the Nintendo Switch 2? It's like 600. Or it was like 600 or 700.
Dude, I got the first one like
Holy
with like
crap.
all the doodads for like
Yeah.
$230.
You can get a
if that.
Wii right now for like $200, and there is a new policy in it that a lot of people are trying to bring attention to because they kind of hide it away in the fine print. You are not, when you buy the console, you are not buying the console. You are buying the rights to play on the console that you're
I
purchasing.
wonder what the purpose of that is.
The
But they
purpose
can, like,
is it
recall
is they have detection software in it. So if you were to jailbreak it or download external content into it, they can shut it down from their headquarters. They can shut your device down and revoke the privilege that you purchased to play on
Wow.
the console. And it's a dead console.
See,
Cannot work.
I see one side, and then I see the other where you paid what? You're gonna pay $600. You can do whatever the heck you
that's
want
how
with
I
that
am.
thing.
That's how I am.
But I see the other side of if you do jailbreak it, you are in effect stealing from somebody in some way, shape, or form.
So it makes sense to not allow people.
So
to
it
do
makes sense to put up some sort of contingency, but that is a step. That is 10 steps too far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
On the same topic of sneaky fine print, I don't know. You guys heard of the sad case of the Disney lawsuit? I don't know when it was. I don't think it was terribly recent. So with Disney Plus, there used to be in the fine print in the terms and conditions I don't know exactly what it was. It was something. Essentially, it was like you can't come to us with a certain case. There's you can't sue us. There's no lawsuit case that you can have against us because you have Disney Plus subscription in regards to any Disney property or franchise, or they are the franchise. But so a couple got it. They agreed to the terms and conditions. I think they had a free trial, canceled it, and then but because they agreed to the terms and conditions, even though they canceled it, when they went to Disney, they had called ahead. It was a married couple. The wife had a severe allergy to something. It might have just been peanuts. Called ahead. Hey, we want a reservation here, but severely allergic to peanuts. Is that going to be a problem? They said no. Called ahead. Hey, time's getting closer. Is that going to be an issue? They said no. Whatever. And then they get there. She has an allergic reaction. She passes away in the hospital. He sues her, or he sues them. They try to throw it out because of the terms and conditions on Disney Plus. Because they had a subscription to Disney Plus from their own home. They go all the way to Disney World, call ahead about all this, and then Disney tries to say no. Now they backpedaled. Disney did and said we strive for joy and happiness. We try to bring magic to anybody that comes here. This is not what we intended with it. I'm like, well, why did you try to take that route when you got sued?
Yeah.
You're
'Cause they
only
didn't think it would
saying
get a
this.
bunch of
You're
publicity.
only saying this because all of a sudden you're in a lot of light now. You didn't think it'd fly like that.
Yeah.
Of course it would. It's insane.
Those terms and conditions are scary because who is
Well, they're getting bigger and bigger.
It's not.
If
realistic
they were the same
to
as they
spend the
were,
time, it's not even realistic to spend the time to read a summary of it.
exactly. If they were as big as they were in like, I remember finding, I don't know, like 5 years ago, some old terms and conditions from a video game cartridge that like I think my dad had. And no, it was from the what is it called? The PS Mini, like the PS Vita, the PlayStation Vita. So I actually got out and played. It was really cool. But it had the terms and conditions back on because I hadn't played it in so long. And I read them. And it was like 3 pages.
Yeah, gotcha.
I can read that. I will read that. Go to Disney Plus and try to read the terms and conditions. You are scrolling, like, hand on the bottom thing of the D-pad on the remote for like 10 seconds. And the words are not big. It's insane.
Yeah, it is crazy how much they try to like capture in there.
I know. I get many companies are doing that to protect themselves. But you got to do something. Maybe ChatGPT, maybe
But
AI is
what
going to
I-
have a really big help in converting
I
it for
do
you.
believe there is laws that those get sent off to pretty much
They have
Better
to get
Business
checked.
bureaus,
They
and they
have
get
to get
checked to
checked.
make there is not something in there
Yeah.
like, oh, if you agree to this, you have to send us $1,000. You know,
Right.
Anything
they
along
did
that
it.
line.
Actually, there was a group that did a test. A company just did a test, and it was cool of them to figure out how many people like actually read the whole thing through and through. And I would have fallen for it. I would, if it's so long, I don't know
if
how
it's
long
over
it was.
1%, I'd be shocked.
But
Yeah, especially
they
because
said
like, a
if-
lot of the people don't even make you read them. Like there's really just a checkbox button.
yeah.
yeah, and there's an
Like,
option
all you
where
have to
can
do
say
is-
check box, or you can have there's a link that says like view terms and conditions.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't have to see it.
Like the only thing I've seen people do, especially on like the TV subscriptions or something, is like you have to scroll all the way down, and then
Yeah.
the
Then it'll
checkbox
allow
will
you.
highlight.
Right.
I'm like, oh, you can do that. But one cool thing a company did, and this was a few years ago when it was just starting to surface as like this might be an issue, like people aren't reading it all, or it's too long for people to read, is they put a little thing like just thrown in the middle, probably like 75% the way through, and it's like if you're reading this, send like this code word to this email, and you will get $1,000. And only one person did it. It took like 4 months for anybody to do it, and someone to cash it in, and they actually they honored it,
Yeah.
which you have to.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
it took 4 months for
Crazy
one person
data
to do
point
it.
right there.
I don't know how
I
many.
don't know if
I
I-
don't know how many people were in the pool, the data pool.
Right.
But
I only have read one in my entire life.
Yeah,
I've read one. It was the PlayStation Vita. That's the only one I've read all the way through, and it was really easy.
I read one pretty thoroughly through something I had to sign for work.
I was gonna say if,
but I was
if it is a
more
big financial
intriguing.
investment, like an active, I gotta take the time to like I gotta print it off, highlighter. But yeah,
Yeah. So
like I read conditions, but I don't read terms and conditions. Like conditions for like employment and stuff.
Yeah,
or like what I
yeah.
have to do
Yeah,
in
that's
college and stuff, like state conditions and stuff.
Right. And usually that's like they like highlight it.
Oh my
point it
gosh,
out, you
yeah,
know
they'll
what
be
I'm
like,
saying?
okay,
they-
this
they
is all
give
of
a
it.
Summary.
You're welcome to it at any time, but here's the big things.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
oh yeah. It's kind
What
of
else?
crazy. I really am looking forward to getting back into video games, but I'm also like, I'm at this point in life where it's like I need to make sure that I have enough stuff set up and going good where I'm not dumping time into it.
Yeah, you
that
need to
I could
allow
be.
yourself to have the time,
Yeah.
but to allow yourself to have the time responsibly, you have
Yeah.
to set everything else up in a good way.
Yeah. I've never been. Yeah, everyone. You love to have a life of balance, but everything I think also comes in phases. Like when I'm big into playing video games, I'll put 20, 30 hours a week into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'll find time.
But it'll only
easily.
go for, I'll only do that for 3
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah, it's like Minecraft phases.
Yeah,
like that's a
yeah.
big thing online.
We even get them for Skyrim phases.
Yeah.
Oh,
We need to get
100%.
'em. We need to get
I mean,
'em.
Oh, dude,
I've been.
I need
itching
I need
for
a
it.
little hit of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You guys need to
That's
start,
exactly
start
what I need.
upgrading.
That's good
get
for the
Oblivion.
soul right there. I never deleted my what is it, my like hardcore my survival mode. It's still
Yeah.
there.
That is cool.
Oh no, I restarted it. I told Trey I just started. I stopped even going to a carriage to fast travel. I have trade routes that I run through like 4 different cities, and I come back to my farm, restock, and I just keep doing that. And then I get enough money or I get enough potions. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do a mission real quick. I haven't even. This is a new one. I haven't even fought the first dragon, so there's no dragons to bother me on my journey. I haven't done anything. It's probably been a quarter of a year in game. I
Wow.
haven't done anything. But it is cool. I get a weird satisfaction out of it. Just
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it's-
100% just a merchant.
Yeah, it's sometimes fun to just do those mundane things in cool
Yeah.
worlds, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, that's like what Farm Simulator is, you know?
Yeah, I'll do that in Minecraft every now and then. I'll just make
Yeah.
like a village or like empire,
Yeah,
make
yeah.
a really cool village. I don't even care about like doing the end game stuff. I just want to make a cool looking village and like be able to trade. So just see how many emeralds I can get in like a 2-week period.
Just like creating value engines is so fun.
That is true. That's a good way to put it. Creating value engines is very
Like
satisfying.
in any way, yeah.
Yeah.
When you just like can do a little bit of work and it pumps out so
100%.
much output
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
anything. Or
Yeah.
and you can make it like a self.
Just a rags to riches thing.
Yeah.
Like self-sustaining
it-
system
you
where you can
can
just
do
go
it-
off and do something
Right.
then. And
You can just sit on the
Yeah.
side and you just like, you know, maybe some games you can like hire workers, like CPU
yeah.
workers, and
100%.
they do it all, and you're just making money for doing nothing. So that it's very satisfying.
yeah, I agree.
Jacob gets a newer console. You can play Overwatch with us.
I know. Well, once the PS6 comes out,
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
So
Is there a release date for that at all?
no, from what I've done, it's like early 2027.
It's hard for me to tell. Well, at this point, I hope they push Elder Scrolls 6 back.
That's what I was gonna say.
'Cause
was
I
hoping
think
wanna
they
buy a
have to
combo.
bundle it because I
They
would
have
love to buy
and
a combo.
I'll
of
buy
it.
that for sure.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did some research on like ChatGPT trying to find expected values of everything because I have a
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
I bucket all of my money for like savings goals reasons. So I have a Skyrim and PS6
Heck
bucket
yeah,
that
dude.
I'm putting money
Heck
into
yeah.
right now.
That's awesome.
And that's usually what I'll put in, like, you know, any money I earn on the side from like outside of my main job.
Heck yeah. Little hustles.
Yes, sir. About to start selling things on eBay, Loki. Any of you guys got any spare kidneys?
I think I got one left, if you want it. Or
One
I got
left?
one
One
total.
left.
I got one I could give you left. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Anytime, man.
you know what I might do? Because Lake Laramie's so shallow. I might just get a big magnet and just take the boat out and just like
Dude, that
skim.
would be fun.
I think I'll just take some guys out and just see what we can get.
Magnet
That'd be really
fishing.
cool.
I think it'd be really neat. No one's done it at Laramie Lake. That skimmer doesn't even pick any of that up either. No, it's not gonna. The dredger, sorry, it's not gonna pick anything up. I think that'd be fun.
I
Those
just
magnets are
I just
cheap.
feel like you think, really? I
You
thought
don't
they'd
need
be
a super
really
magnet.
expensive.
You don't need a super magnet because Laramie Lake's shallow. It's in the muck, but
Yeah, but you
it's
still
not
need a-
Do you
under.
think because they dredge it so much, though, anything that falls down might just get scooped and like tossed?
No, the dredger's got a gate filter. It's got like a fence on it,
Ah, okay.
so it'll take it, and then that dredger doesn't just like move. It doesn't even move this fast. I mean, it just sits there. So if it doesn't get picked up, it just drops below, and then it just rolls under and just keeps going.
Yeah.
Now they do have.
Get that pontoon.
They
They have
have-
in the shape. We can do that, bro.
All I gotta do is get the engine running, and we'll put it in. Everything else is gonna
not
go.
have
man.
12 people on it.
I'd rather not. I'd rather have 9 people on it. Even that would probably be intimidating. But just got a captain's seat. All he needs is a hat, and then we can put it in.
Perfect.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, no, they have
Call
2
Josh.
dredging drop-off points too. So we could go. I could go over there just with a metal detector I already have, and just see if there's anything neat there.
Mhm.
But in the lake itself, it would be cool just because whatever we manage to find, it could be from when they made the lake, when they dug it out.
Yeah, old wrenches or tools or stuff.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Yeah.
I always feel like some of those may be staged though, because there's some
Oh, for
crazy
sure.
stuff that
100%.
people pull
How much
out.
time do we got left? Because I got a little rant.
Well, we basically got to wrap it up now. So
Dang.
you can jump back.
Okay,
in. You
I'll
can jump
rant.
back
I'll
in
rant in a
now.
second. Yeah.
All right. We'll come back then. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a sec.
All right. I
It
love
is always
that.
dead.
I love that.
Do you guys charge your phones overnight?
I do only because
do.
now they have the overcharge protection. Like the issue used to be where like phones like overheat if
You'd
they're
burn
like
it.
if they're too insulated. Like if you charge it in your bed, that's never a good idea. But now they have, hey, your phone's at 80%. We'll pick it up in the morning around the time that we've determined you typically get up. So yeah, I charge.
And it
overnight
just
now.
stops receiving power
It
input.
blocks the voltage. So,
So
yeah,
it just
so
slowly charges all the way up.
Like what 45 or so, however many minutes it takes for it to go that last 25, which is it's phone to phone. It'll just start.
And they did that with
It'll
an
subtract from when you wake up.
Did they do that with an Apple update? Like they just
Yeah.
updated in their internal
Yeah,
software to
it's
do
crazy.
that?
It's insane how much you can you can. It seems like you're changing a physicality in the phone
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
simple update.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Because it seems like, if you just think about the cable, like it would have to keep sending that power in.
No, because you got to think how smart those ports and cables are now. Because now they're also out ports. Like that's where
Yeah.
you plug
Yeah.
in stuff
Yeah.
to send.
But then-
photos
so
or
because of
music
that,
and-
it's a motherboard switch. It just says, hey, now we're sending out.
Yeah, we're not
but it's
gonna
not sending it to
receive.
anything, which is okay.
Yeah.
They're built for that. until they just stop receiving power. It's crazy.
I might have to make sure I have that setting turned on my phone.
It usually gives you it gives me a notification. Like if I'm in bed and my phone's at like 74% and it charges up to 80, it'll just tell me real quick.
Yeah, mine does the same
your
thing.
phone is at 80%. Where
It's like smart charging or something.
Yeah, it's like smart charge is turned on. Your phone will finish charging at blank time before you wake
Yeah.
up.
Oh, gotcha.
And then obviously when your phone is charged, it just stops receiving power.
Right now, I can just get away with just charging it. Like, I'll just wake up and I'll charge it and do what I do in the morning, and then 30 minutes
Yeah,
later,
I can
it's
go
like
anywhere
the day.
and have a charged phone. But like on the weekends, I guess, yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
sure it's charged. But yeah, there's been times where I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna put it away.
A lot of times if I do charge at night too, I try to make sure that like it's empty, or it's low battery. So if I plug it in, like even if it is on the whole night, it'll be fine.
it's
But yeah,
gonna
I'm
take
also
2
very
hours.
fortunate just with having a desk. Like I have a charger at my desk, so like if I'm just working, I can
Oh, at work.
plug
yeah,
in my
yeah.
phone.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm doing stuff where like I need to have a full charge for the day.
Yeah,
I can go to work with 10%. I'd be fine.
My car port for charging is pretty powerful too.
Mine
like
is not.
fast.
If I take like a 15-minute trip to Sydney, my phone will be up 30%.
Really?
Which I don't do it often because I figure that's not the greatest thing for the phone.
Oh no! Oh, dude, a story I forgot to tell this. Yeah,
Why'd you point at me?
because you reminded me of it.
Oh, okay.
I talk about it.
Oh,
So
you-
obviously now, like everything is going to USB-C, like even computers.
Yeah.
And there were some days where like this is at my old desk. I didn't have a charger for my phone, but I'm like, oh, my laptop's got battery.
Oh
So I pull out this massive cord that has like the whole block and it plugs
Yeah,
in full
that
throttle into the wall.
converts everything.
Oh yeah, and I plugged it in my phone and boom, it started charging. I sat down. 20 minutes later, I look at the battery. I'm like, it's almost full. It was like almost dead.
God, take
I
that
pick it up.
out,
It was
brother.
on fire. I was like, oh no. I just
Supercharged,
supercharged that
yeah.
thing, dude. I did it a few more times after because I was like, oh, I'm at 15%. Like 10 minutes won't hurt.
Yeah.
And then it's just sitting there, and it's like 10 minutes later, it went up like 60%. I was like, but again, it was always warm.
That's bad.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
like when-
that voltage is
When
probably
I
not
fixed
right.
your laptop charger, that was a worrisome thing. I fixed it the
yeah,
first time because
yeah,
it was
yeah.
so bad. It was like a dog got to it or something. And I fixed it. I just like got some electrical tape, re-braided the wires and
Jerry
everything. And they were
rigged it
they were
completely.
tiny. And I'm like, okay, you have another one at home? Yeah. I'm like, okay, you go home, you throw this away immediately. But he needed it for the night, so I'm like, you throw it away immediately. And what happened with it? You brought it again.
Yeah, I brought it the
You
next
brought
week.
the charger the next day.
Fuck yeah, I did.
And it was worse. Like the weirdest thing was it was holding a charge. The cable itself was holding a charge in the box. You could see the light was on, and I unplugged it from the wall. That light was on for like 5 minutes every time.
It was bad.
So it was sending a lot of stuff right back to where it came from, and it was getting stuck in this box. It was dangerous. It was so warm.
Yeah, it was on fire.
It was
It
hot.
was bad. Well, you fixed it. I didn't want to just use it one time. I had to use it twice at least.
Nah, I just had fun fixing it. Well, you did. It was nice that you could use it when I fixed it.
Yeah.
But if you like looked at it the wrong way, it was like, oh no, dude, I'm done. So, anything fun happen? I guess chronologically at the Zac Brown Band concert. Jacob and I worked that night. So
Is that as far back as we can go? When we do a last pod, we can do a little.
I think it was just
Yeah,
Zac Brown
we had
Band.
It was
party buses
the
too.
other Sunday.
Yeah.
Really,
Nothing really happened on that one
it was fun.
that I remember. I mean, I almost saw a fight. It was cool.
That was cool.
I kind of did see the back half of it.
Yeah.
I was oblivious to anything that was happening during that until someone came up and apologized to me about it. I'm like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
I was
Hey, no
not on
problem,
that one,
dude.
right? I wasn't on that.
Yeah.
Huh?
You were on that bus.
What?
Yeah.
What did
it
I
was,
miss?
It was
Abby's
me,
bus?
you, Luke, and Luke.
Who almost got into a fight?
Our
It
bus.
was
Us?
No,
No.
Two guys on our bus and two guys on the.
Oh, I was gonna
other
say,
bus.
I'm like, I thought you said
we
that.
started
Like, I was not aware that I was about to get into a little fisticuffs match
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Throwback to an old
Yeah,
episode.
that is a throwback.
So what was that? All it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
fair
don't.
enough.
I don't even think I know what it's about. I heard like rumors of like what, but
No,
I
yeah,
don't know.
I do know what it's about, but it's not. what it's
Gotcha,
about.
gotcha.
Oh,
okay.
people we didn't
Well, it
really
was
know.
it was a fun bus.
Yeah,
Went
yeah,
on a party
but-
bus. Nothing crazy happened.
Zac Brown Band was probably better. Which, because you've seen him before, Trey, right?
Yeah, I
Zac
saw
Brown
him
Band?
last August in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my first time seeing Zac Brown Band, and they were amazing. Like,
Oh,
incredible.
bet.
I
Their
love their
live-
music
Their live
too.
covers
I've been listening to it for a long
Yeah,
Yeah,
time.
they play
so hard.
They play such good covers. It's ridiculous.
I honestly couldn't care for their covers that much.
Oh, really?
I liked the when
look
they just
forward to
did
hearing them on Spotify.
when they just did one cover like Bohemian Rhapsody. I know you love that, Trey, but like I could have completely done without it. I'd much rather sub that for one of their other songs they didn't play.
Sure.
But what was really cool, one thing they did a few times is they would play one of their songs like 3/4, and
then do a medley?
right before they ended, they would do a cover for a little bit, and then they would go back and end that original
Those
song.
are
That's
awesome.
cool.
I love the medleys that they can do. Well, any band that wants to do it. Like when we went to see Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top, ZZ Top did it a lot because ZZ Top is great. They only have so many hits, so they did a bunch of covers in between, and it was awesome. Also, they brought out a 24
String guitar.
stringed bass
That was
guitar.
That's awesome.
It looked like a surfboard.
crazy.
It was
Oh my
sick.
God.
That dude ripped it. It was insane.
Bro had it like tucked into his armpit.
He had to
and then he
squat
would be
to
getting
get his
the last
arm around the right
strings.
spots. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah,
It was sick.
That was cool.
Yeah. No, that was actually a really fun concert.
Yeah, it was. It was a cool venue because it wasn't like a stadium concert. It was. Well, so the Bull had seats, and then we were kind of in like a grass pat.
What are those
Grass
called?
field?
Yeah.
I don't know the exact term.
Grassy.
The lawn.
Yeah,
we were
it
in
was
the
called,
lawn.
it was called the lawn.
And it was on a nice enough, steep enough incline
Oh yeah.
that we could kind of just lay back and just like kind of prop our heads up
Yeah, it
and
was
see
sick.
them. And everyone was also kind of laying down.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
I don't know
we're
if
all
it was
spaced out.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a rule either. Like when I when I received the tickets, I didn't see like I tried to look online about stuff because I knew we were in the lawn, but I didn't know anything about it. I just seen pictures, so I'm like, oh, we can sit.
Yeah.
So we didn't even bring a blanket or anything. We just parked
Laid
it right there. But everybody else, I didn't see a single person with like a normal lawn chair. They had the low recliners. So like I don't know if it was a rule or a policy or whatever. But if it's not, like everyone was super considerate.
Yeah. And no one
It was,
like
a
no
really
one like
nice time.
stood up on the front rail and like blocked anyone's view.
No, not
It was
at all.
cool. Now when Freebird came on, everyone stood up because
Oh,
Obvious
went
reasons.
nuts.
it was so cool. It was the most intoxicated feeling I've ever had being sober.
It was
like just
insane.
Freebird was
Yeah.
just flowing through my body.
and there
It
were
was
a few
crazy.
thousand people there, and we had space.
Yeah.
And all, like the lights were great, the lighting was awesome, the screens were cool, but everybody in the facility could see the band. It's the best. It's the best arena. Would you call it an arena? It was the best
Venue.
venue.
What are they called?
Yeah,
It's an outdoor auditorium. What are those called? They're like the old Greek ones. I can't remember.
Amphitheater.
Amphitheater. It's an amphitheater.
Yeah.
Good pull.
Not a boy
Oh,
Trey.
that's very good. I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a crazy good amphitheater. If there's another like band that I like going around there, I would 100% every time.
Yeah.
I just saw the Wallflowers. They're gonna be in Columbus this year.
If
the
it's
waffle hours.
Wallflowers.
Wallflowers.
They
I
have
heard
like
Waffle
3
Hours.
hits.
I was like,
They have like 3 hits. They sound
Waffle
like,
Hours that's like 3 a.m. to 5 a.m.
yeah, it's like one headlight, and then they have like 6th Avenue Heartache, which sounds like an emo song, but it's not. Yeah, they're really good.
I don't know that off the top of my head.
I don't know
Yeah.
either. I don't think.
But I don't like stadium shows too much where you're just kind of sitting in a stadium seat.
Yeah,
I don't-
I agree with that too.
It has to be like
I don't
my
like stadiums or
top
arenas too
percentage
much.
of artists that I would justify going. But what you guys had pit tickets, so you
Yeah.
were all standing.
Yeah,
You
so
were,
it was-
I
you
think
were on
that
the
would be
field,
more
Yeah,
enjoyable.
right? 'Cause
I
it
was just saying, 'cause
the
we went-
Glass Bowl, or
yeah,
the-
we were on the field.
Yeah.
But when we saw them in August, we had stadium seats, and going from stadium seats to having pit seats this time, the pit made it like twice as good. Just being
Did
that
it?
close, right up,
Okay.
not confined to
that's
like
good
a
to
bleacher
know.
seat way up and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So worth it. It was so cool.
And that's how country concert is. You
Yeah.
know? You get
it was
to
like
stand
yeah,
and
it was just
everything.
like Gold Circle but closer.
I mean, Trey, you touched Zac Brown Band, didn't you? Not even
The
gonna
whole,
bring that
every
up.
single one of them.
Yeah, touched his hand and Dustin Lynch's hand. I know I was annoying as hell after the show because I'd be walking around. I
Yeah.
touched his hand. I've never. I knew I was annoying as hell after, but it was so fun.
Should have went
That's
full
funny.
9 yards. Got a Ziploc bag, put it over it, taped it shut.
Yeah.
I thought about it because he was performing Bohemian Rhapsody is when I touched his hand and because
Oh my
the way
gosh,
because the way
of course.
because they had like the main stage
His
and then it
magnum
came
opus.
out and went both ways further out.
like
and
a
we were on the
like
right
a
side.
T.
Yeah, like a T.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on
Yeah,
the
that
right
makes
side,
sense.
right next
Yeah.
to it. So cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that is wicked.
Yeah,
Chris-
it was really good.
Especially it wasn't even that crowded to be honest, because we were that
Yeah.
close, so like no one could stand behind us really, because we were right on the gate or whatever, and like even wasn't even crowded in front of us really that much about at all. Like, it was nothing like gold circle, like front where you're shoulder to shoulder. I had
Yeah.
plenty of room
Good golly.
the entire time, which was really nice.
I got a story about that too. This one's kind of longer. We'll have enough time though.
Oh, please.
So obviously, Jason has been on the podcast before. Got us our tickets a while ago.
Old JC.
And again, like there's so many different ways to get tickets nowadays through third parties and portals and offers or deals, whatever.
Yeah.
So he just got some tickets because we wanted to go a while ago, and like they were expensive. They were a lot more than what like you guys paid.
Yeah.
At the same time, like how would he supposed to know? You know, it's just how
You
the
don't
cookie
want it to be
crumbles
sold out.
sometimes.
It is actually
Right.
crazy. Ticket prices, like, if there's a whole ticket market. You know,
Oh,
they
yeah.
go up and they go down.
Well, yeah, for concert to concert, they either go up or down from the start point. Like, there's
Yeah.
only one way it can go.
yeah, my girlfriend, she went to a concert recently, and I think the ticket prices doubled. Well, because she saw it like 3 weeks out, and then they sold out. They were like doubled by the time they sold out for kind of
Wow.
the same tickets that she got.
Who was it for?
Lainey Wilson.
Laney Wilson.
Yeah.
So he got ours, and it was like they were like just normal concert tickets. So we get to the venue, and we go and we walk to our seats, and these seats are like the worst seats in the place. Like we were literally on the farthest side. So Toledo's
Class Bowl.
Class Bowl is basically very similar to the shoe, kinda, where you have the whole ring, right? And then you have the back student section where it's just like one block. And the concert or the stage was on the opposite side of that student section. So you really just had a wall on each side, a row of like seats on either side, and then one student section in the middle. So we were all the way up on the one side, farthest away possible, like up against the end fence on like the upper portion. There were still probably like 20 rows above us, but we were high and like far, and I was like, that kind of sucks. But then we got there and we sat down, and we were like, even before Dustin Lynch was playing, who was before Zac Brown Band, the other guys were playing, and we noticed like we could not hear these guys at all. Like we cannot hear them. Like if we listen and focus really hard, we might be able to tell what song they're playing, but we're like, I can't hear anything, which is crazy. Like how would they not, like, when is ever a concert like that too quiet?
Too quiet, yeah.
It's so weird. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just this guy because he's more of like, he was a solo single performer. Maybe like, you know, when Zac Brown Band comes out, they'll be louder and the whole band or whatever. So we were sitting there like, but then Dustin Lynch came on, who actually does like a full band and puts on a
Yeah.
show and whatnot. Did not get any louder.
Oh,
We could not
really?
hear him. But then we were looking and we saw seats of that student section, so directly across from the stage, like on the opposite end basically, and it was like empty, and it was like on the ground directly across, like you know, just right in front of the, I don't know what you call it, the ground level,
Yeah,
or
like the
whole
field, the
pit.
actual field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really right next to it. So we're like, and me and Jason were kind of like looking over at like the entrances or like how you get in. And we're like, are they checking or anything? And like we're like, no, people are just walking in there. And we're like, let's go down there. And me and Jason again, we've been day drinking all day, so we showed up because Jason lives close, so we just walked there. And me and Jason were like, you want to just go test it out? And we're like, yeah, let's go. So we walk down, and we just walk right in, and we sit down there, and it was way better view. We could actually hear really well. It was, again, empty all around us, so way less people than where we were at, and we're like, all right, this is awesome. Then Jason went up, got the rest of our crew. They all came, sat down with us, and we stayed there for the rest of the show, and it was the
Epic.
best move ever.
That's awesome.
It increased our
So they
pleasure
weren't like
from the
they weren't like
concert.
visually impaired seats, were they?
That's why that
It was
we were
empty?
thinking it was empty, because there was a little tent
Yep.
of all the equipment and
Yep.
cameras and stuff. But you literally, if you would like scoot 3 seats to the right, you could see the stage. Like where we sat, we were like right middle of that section, and we could see it perfectly fine. I could see him. I guess if he went down the left side of that tee, I couldn't. But most of the time, he was like up in the center of his band,
Yeah.
just sitting there playing. But like, yeah, I saw him probably 90% of the time really well. We just had to shift right slightly. But that's what the conclusion we kind of came to, is that nobody wanted to buy them because they were the visually impaired seats.
Or a lot of times
Where
they
you
don't even
shut
put
the
them up
ones.
for sale.
Yeah. They could have, might have not. But there was some people, we just went and we're like, we're sitting here.
Yeah.
And no one said a thing. And even at the end.
If you got in, that means you have a ticket. What are they?
Yeah. At the end, Jason, like, this is at the end of the show. Again, he's feeling pretty good at this point. We're having a good time. The concert's been amazing. The lights are off. And Zac Bryan also has always these really cool effects and visuals on the screens. So it's feeling good. Jason goes up to the fence because we also sat right behind the wall or the barrier
Sure.
or the fence, whatever. We were like 2 rows behind it. Jason walks up to it, stands there, kind of looks around, throws one leg over real inconspicuously, and just kind of stands there, one leg over, swings the other leg over, and then just takes off running and dancing. Someone has video of this man, but he was just, again, this was like maybe during colder weather. Maybe
we'll look
one
at
of their
that.
ending ones where they were like, everyone was going crazy and yelling and like lights were going and he just went there and he just started dancing, like twirling and dancing and kicking
was so
for the last like 5 minutes. He was there just going crazy out there.
Oh my
He was
gosh.
having so much fun, and everyone, all of us were looking at him and laughing. It was awesome. He had a good time.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was. We could show the video after.
Yeah.
Of
Okay,
him just
yeah.
running out there and dancing.
The Island song's on there, Silas Steeler, and that's my favorite song.
That song's
and
amazing.
I was with Dylan. We were standing right next to him the entire time. It was just us two in pit. I got the tickets. And he said the first note played, and I immediately turned to him with the biggest grin on my face. So I'm like, oh my gosh, on their set list, they're playing this. So happy.
Am I crazy for like not liking that when they just don't have like a good song on the set list and they just like play it surprise? It's a nice surprise, but like just put it on your set list.
Well, they don't make set lists. It's all just people going to their
Yeah.
concerts that.
Oh,
Like,
say
type
what
it
they're
in.
doing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well then,
I would say
yeah.
most artists don't release like this is what I'm playing. It's people that go on the
Spec-
tour.
Previous concerts.
previous shows. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what they've been playing.
True, and I get
Probably
the
the
surprise then. I get the
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah, and so they probably
If they just
changed-
don't make a set list.
They definitely just change it from show to show.
Yeah, what are we
exactly what they
feeling?
want to play.
I watched an old video of Motley Crue playing, and bands were so crazy back then. I would say like I wish I could go to a concert back then. I don't want to go to a concert back then. Nikki Sixx was so drunk on a Thursday night just after their first song. He was on the ground trying to play
He would
bass.
play-
Well,
he
he
would
was
play the
playing
bass
bass
on the ground.
He was playing
He
bass.
would
To
lay
be
on
fair.
his back and play the bass.
But Nikki Sixx was
That's
just
awesome.
on the
That's
ground,
hilarious.
and I can't remember.
Have you seen the Dirt documentary, Isaiah?
Yeah, we watched it together at your
yeah,
house,
yeah.
which is a great.
Oh, good, bro.
Yeah,
That's one
it
of the
was
movies I
awesome.
need to watch like every 2 years.
But
I just watched
it
it
was
not long
awesome.
ago.
But their second, well, when they were big, their lead singer, I can't remember his name, but
Vince Neil?
yeah,
Vinny?
thank you.
Vince
Yeah,
Neil?
yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like doing a really cool voiceover, like building. You could hear. So Nikki Sixx was playing, then they had him on the drums, and then he was just like talking, building into the song, talking with a cadence, and it did look electric. It looked kind of awesome.
Dude, and those
But I
concerts
don't-
were like $5.
Yeah.
That's the only
A lot
thing.
of
Is
them
like,
are, like-
super cheap. Drinks are way cheaper. Like
way
they didn't.
cheaper.
Venues did not mark up beer at that point.
Oh, no.
But because they were marked up, people got them.
And if it wasn't sold out, they would just open the doors, say, come in.
Yeah,
We just
It's
want this place
ins-
full.
It was insane.
They're already playing here. It doesn't matter. Just
And
Yeah.
like even back then, obviously, like we never get more unsafe as a society. So like the regulations and stuff were way less back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could literally just sell tickets till they couldn't no more, and if like they would just throw people like
Yeah, they literally sold to max capacity, and then still like
yeah
the door would
yeah,
not
right,
be guarded.
right. Like now there's probably like laws where like you can't sell more tickets
Yeah.
than your
you probably
your
have to
state-
sell under the max
probably
capacity.
you probably have to do like 90%
Yeah.
of your designated max capacity. Back then
I'm
they
willing
just
to bet.
non-stop
Oh, dude,
sold.
Metallica in Russia.
Yeah, they just like
Or
kept
USSR,
on selling
I
if people
think.
buying.
I think it was still USSR.
1.9 million people.
That's insane.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Isn't that more than half of our state's population?
Probably.
We're about 3 million.
Yeah, we're a little over 3, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Should everyone
it might be
pulling up
over half.
to just a
That's
field.
insane.
It's nuts.
I mean, country concerts only like 50,000
Yeah,
people.
we went to Lala and it was what 100.
We went on
1,000?
the biggest day, right?
Yeah, it was like 100.
biggest day
little
ever.
over 100,000. I
Imagine
think.
that times 19.
Yeah, I could not because that
And
was
one,
insane.
and that's
how many
one
people were there.
performer.
Yeah.
Lollapalooza had 20 in one day, and
It was
some of them
it
were
was
big,
a big venue too. It was that entire park,
huge.
but it was still packed.
Mind-boggling.
to fit 1.9.
I cannot even fathom that.
Well, I mean, it's
Well,
not even like
people
they
passed
fed it.
away that day.
Yeah. It's not even like they fit everyone in a venue. It was a big open area field and people just showed up. And I wonder even how close that 1.9 number is. Because, like, again, there's no way every
How do
single
you
person
count?
had a ticket.
Yeah.
Right.
It has to be a figure.
Estimation.
It's
So
weird
it could
it's
be
still
over.
in
There's
state.
literally,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
literally
true.
like clips of like choppers flying over,
Oh,
and it's just a pool of people.
Fields, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is cool, but it is also terrifying at the
Yeah.
same time.
But people were just better back then, man. They were hardier. I think they could survive more.
They like
They were just
multiple people
better,
got
bro.
trampled to death.
Oh
that
yeah,
day.
but if it was people nowadays, it would probably be like 100 times
I
more.
don't.
I'm guessing.
What?
That's
I don't-
my assumption.
I don't think so. You
I don't know
just
if
said
that's
they
how
were-
that works.
I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Trust me, bro.
Okay,
Trust me.
Bro's about to go home, hop in his DeLorean. I was there.
I wish
Dude,
I was there.
I'm sorry, this just popped in my head. Another wild thing about this concert, bro.
Hmm.
I gotta go to the bathroom, and it was like, I think this is when Dustin Lynch was playing. So, like, obviously a lot of people are going to the bathroom now, so they don't have to later. But at the same time, it wasn't super packed. But I go, and I'm like, I found the bathrooms, I see the line, and it's just people. Like, not just guys. I see the men's room.
That's a big thing with concert. That it would bug me if it didn't make kind of practical sense.
Yeah, like, it is a very weird double standard. At the same time, it's like, not fair.
You know, at the same, yeah, like I would rather you not be
But yeah,
fans. Like, that sucks for both of us.
Yeah, I go, and so I see the men's room, and there's just a big line of people, and I'm like, "Where's the line in the men?" And it was like kind of long, and it kind of would like go under the steps, so like it wasn't just a short one. So I was like, "Where's the line for the men's room?" And they're like, "Right here." And then girls turn around, they're like, "Yeah, it's right here." I'm like, "What?" And then I just look to the front of the line, and I just see like groups of girls just going in the men's room,
Yeah.
and then I walk in there expecting like, all right, there's probably like urinals with the side dividers. No, it's just a wall of urinals close
Yep.
together, no side dividers. Like these women are just walking in. Obviously, they're not going to the urinals; they're going to the stalls, and no stall had a guy in it, not a single stall.
Yeah.
All the urinals.
When I went
guys
to
go to the
when
urinals.
I went to the Cody Johnson concert, that was the first time I ever witnessed that too.
Yeah.
And it was like there was no guys at all in the lines. So every bathroom had a line of only females, and then
Well,
the
the guys
guys
just
were going.
bypass it.
They were going in the exit door,
Yeah.
and then they were just going to the urinals, using the urinals, and walking out. I was like, what?
Like again, it is very weird and like kind of uncomfortable and a huge double standard because imagine it the other way. But like you
Sure.
said, it makes total
At the
sense.
same time,
I
you
still-
got to accept it. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's
Like I said, it would suck for everybody
Right.
if like how many girls are going in there that might have,
Right.
that would suck. And I don't wish that on anybody. So
Mm-hmm.
by all means, especially like people were complaining when Taylor Swift did her Eras tour. People were complaining online about it, like the double standard. I'm like, how many guys do you think are there?
Yeah.
Dads, boyfriends, some that genuinely enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally fair. But it's like 90% women.
Yeah.
Just let them go.
Yeah,
It
you
doesn't-
gotta-
Who cares?
Right.
Even if there were more guys, I think
Yeah,
it's
it just-
it's like, oh, it's a shock for a
If I-
second, but then it's cool.
If
I
I
don't
was
know
in
what
there-
that is.
That is weird.
Hang on, let me interact with that.
It might be like an AI robot.
I think that's a
test
robot
thing.
test. Yeah. That's are you a
drag
human
the
test.
puzzle piece into place? I hope they can't. No!
Hey, how did
I
you
got
fail
another
that?
chance. I have another chance.
Bro, it might be AI.
I did it. We're good. We're good. My finger was shaky.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but that being down in Pitt was so nice because to our left, there was no one in those seats since it was blocked. Like you couldn't see anything when you're sitting in those seats. So to go to the bathroom, it was literally just go up steps that were right there. Bathroom's right there.
Oh.
No one in line.
I thought you were saying. I thought you were saying
there's
since
no
no
one-
one could see you, you just like went on the field somewhere.
No.
I would have walked there if I
Yeah,
knew those
you-
were empty down
I
there.
should have
Yeah,
texted
I mean,
you. I
that's
guess I had
fine,
no service. But yeah, there was no one no one was sitting back there, so there
Right,
was just no
because
one
it
in
was
line.
cut off because the view was too bad, so they weren't going to sell.
So every time I'd walk in, there was only like 2 other people in there with me. Every
Wow.
single time, there was no
That's
one.
pretty sick.
Like
Yeah,
lines
me-
for beer back there. I had a single person.
Me and my
Just
aunt
Pitt.
went to a George Strait concert, and this was at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. And obviously, yeah, they had like the seats. So that pretty much a quarter of the stadium was closed off because it was behind the stage. And we just walked back behind the shoe, and then all the bathrooms were completely empty. They didn't even have the concession stands opened, but the bathrooms doors were unlocked.
Yeah, that's smart.
Just cruised in, especially because we were sitting like here was the cutoff column. We were probably like 10 in, so we were just looking right at the stadium.
That's ace, dude.
Or right at the stage. So we, it wasn't much even more of a walk for us.
yeah.
But
That's
no one else was doing it, right? Because there was, black tape like guardrails that you had to
Probably because
move
we weren't supposed to,
yeah,
but
to get back there. But
you only live once.
yeah, that's
Another short little funny story from the concert is obviously we needed beers when they were coming around. And I have the Robin Hood Gold card, which it's very basic because it's just a flat card. Like there's a little engraved logo on the top corner, and then there's nothing else. It's just straight metal. The
Yeah.
back doesn't even have numbers or expiration
Yeah.
dates or anything because it's all online. So it's
Right.
literally just a piece of gold metal. It
Yeah.
looks like. It's not actual gold. But so he came around. The beer guy was going around getting other people, and I like tapped him like, "Yo, you take Bitcoin?" And I'm like holding up my gold card only, and I even covered
That's
up the
awesome.
chip. So all it was like just a piece of gold medal. I'm like, "You take Bitcoin?" He's like, No, I don't think so. I'm like, "What? It's
Give it a try."
2025." I'm like, "Doge? You take Doge?" He's like, "No, man." I'm like, "Let me
funny.
try. Give me 2 beers." And I like went up there and I just tapped it, and it just like boop. And he's like, "Whoa, okay."
Now, I hope not that they would, but
That's
nobody
hilarious.
asked him that question again. It's like, actually,
we
yes.
do.
Yes.
And then they actually try to pay with Bitcoin. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But even the people sitting around us were like laughing too, because there was like this one like 29-year-old girl maybe, and she was like, "I thought I was still young. What's Bitcoin, man?" And she was like, "You know how they are."
It's a little wild.
And she was
actually.
laughing.
Not
and was
knowing
like,
Bitcoin is
I
kind
know
of
Bitcoin. That's been around for ages, dude.
You want to know what is a flashback into history? You know when these vendors would actually still take cash, and they would give your beer to the first person on the row, and they
Yeah,
would pass
and
it
the
down.
you get the
Pass
beer,
the
you
cash.
get the
Nope.
cash, and you pass it all the way through.
No, what they
Well-
they also other vendors, you do that somewhere, but other vendors would have this little ball. It was like a hacky sack, and they would throw it to you. You would put your money in this little
Oh,
hacky
yeah.
sack ball, and you would throw it back,
That's back
to the
when people
vendor.
would record it. That's when.
Yep.
That's back when baseball was actually the pastime of America.
Yep.
Well, that's why they made hand grenades a certain size too in America instead of the
Mhm.
sticks
For baseball
for World War
players to throw
II.
'em.
Because they figured at the time every boy in America knew how to throw a baseball. So they made it like they made a circular hand grenade. Because think about it,
smart.
the German concussion grenades and shrapnel grenades, they were sticks,
They're poles,
which to be fair, you get more leverage on that. It's a bigger lever as part of your arm, but Americans figured it'd be more accurate, and it was. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't think about
That's
that.
when
Makes
between
sense.
that and that
This
was
is the good old
actually
days of
when
baseball.
baseball was America's favorite pastime. Because now
They don't fill stadiums at all.
So it's definitely
it's sad.
football.
It's sad. It is football, which is fine. Maybe we'll just have to change up the grenade shape now.
Hey, flag football is going to be a sport too in the Olympics 2028 now.
Maybe I'll join up.
Football
I have a
players are
slim
allowed to
figure.
compete in it too.
Mm-hmm.
You
I'll
said
be
what?
interested to
NFL
see if they
players are allowed
will,
to.
if any really big name
Oh, yeah.
athletes do.
I bet there would definitely be some.
I can see big name quarterbacks participating, but I don't know about big name wide receivers.
I think whoever has a big ego. I think
No
those
contact
people wanna
sport.
be on the
Yeah.
Olympic worldwide
I would not be
stage.
surprised if Jamar Chase just put his chip in the hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the right phrase? Chip in the hat? Name in the hat?
Name
in the hat?
Name in the hat.
Yeah.
I thought you had to put in the goblet of fire.
Oh, well, Harry didn't.
He
Still
did not.
happened.
It's true. All right. Well, that's all the time we have anyway. So
That was fun. That was an easy. That came very naturally.
yeah, I like that. It was,
That was a
good.
good one.
Went pretty fast too.
It's almost like we've done this 145 times.
Yeah.
A few more. We haven't posted some. They just got lost. They got
Yeah.
shelved.
Well, no audio.
Botched ones
Had to
with
get
that.
rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Definitely.
probably have done about 160, I would say. If
Yeah,
everything
at
went
least
perfectly.
150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything had went perfect.
But thank you guys for sticking all the way through. I hope you enjoyed the conversations.
Yep. Please like and subscribe. Our TikTok and Instagram is at Speaking Sporadically.
Yeah.
And that's all we got.